Hello and welcome everybody to Heavyweight Bass live streams. Hope you're all well. I've got the new microphone set up, so hopefully you can hear me a bit better and we don't get any breakups like I've had before. Right then. Going to be looking at this track this morning. Going to be looking at this track this morning. Need to mix down. Going to be looking at the drums, the bass, you know, the usual thing. So we'll give it a play from the top up, and so you can have a listen to it. If you've got any questions, post them up in the chat. Also, people have posted up some questions on Facebook, and I'll have a look at those as we move along and answer a few of them. Sorry, I was going to write them all down, but it's been a really busy week. So, yeah, hold tight. I'm going to play the top from the track up, from the top, and you guys have a listen, see what you can pick out, and I'll have a listen and make some comments on it afterwards. Well, that was our first listen through. For me, I think the mid-range is a bit muddy. We could really kind of sort that out. The top end needs to be opened up, needs to be brightened up. The vocal needs to be the work, just really kind of make it a bit crispy and make it snap through, tighten up the drums. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a great hook. There's a great melody in there. It's I think this is something for a remix competition, actually. So, yeah, we'll start. If you've got any questions and comments and stuff like that. No, Rob, there's nothing on there yet. These are just the finished stems that I'm going to mix. This is what was sent to me. This I will actually. This mix is going to be done full analog. I'm going to start it here at home, doing a lot of it, and show you some stuff that I'll do, what I kind of do, and then this afternoon I'll be going in, and this will be running through the desk and being mixed. So I'm going to play that from the top again, just to kind of have a listen. That lead riff is a bit hidden there, so I really kind of need to bring that up. Yeah, that piano definitely needs some work. Need to bring that forward. Yeah, we can I'll get started. First thing I'm going to look at, I'll look at the drums. I mean, the drums I'm going to run through the analog stuff later on, but I will fatten them up a little bit. The main thing I want to look at is the kind of piano and the vocals this morning. So I'm just going to add the slate tape to the main bus. I don't know if you can hear it already, I'll A/B between the two, but you can hear the natural bump that tape will do naturally to the bottom end. So it will give like a couple of dB boost to the bottom and kind of sharpen up the top ends, take away any edginess, but it kind of focuses the whole tune as well. And I'll just run the whole tune through this. This is one of my own presets. This is a 1/2 inch mastering tape. I might change it to 2-inch tape and mess it around, but you can hear our A/B between the two now, and I'm not going to drive it too hard. So that's just giving like a natural EQ tape machine bump, and it's really nice. I mean, what that will do is that will just minimise some of the EQing that I'll do to the bottom end as the that will just minimise some of the EQing that I'll do to the kick and the bass as we go along. If you look at span, you'll see the difference of just what the tape does. You can see how much of a dB boost it gives. I'll bypass between on and off, and you'll see. So this is off. This is on. Do you see like the bottom end drop there with the tape? So yeah, look, it's just really nice. I mean, I won't do it on every track. It does depend track to track. whether I'm going to use that. But the Slate is my favourite one of those tape saturation plugins. You can see I'm cutting out the bottom end on the kick, but you see I'm working with the different slopes on the filter. You can hear how much the kick changes with those, depending on how harsh the slope of the filter is. So it's not a massively boomy bottom end, so I'm just going to go for like a sort of a 12 dB slope. But depending, I might go up to a 36 and cut it if there's lots of sub in a kick. When I work, I always kind of like, I'm quite lazy with my organisation, but I do tend to work in groups, obviously, which is a lot of you will do. And I do like to put my stuff in folders into the arrangement window. It just kind of keeps things neat. So I've just kind of created a folder there, just put the drums in, put all the drums to a drum group bus channel, and then I'll compress them together and see how I like it. And if I don't like it, I'll sort of split them out and compress the individual channels. So let's I'll do some drum bus compression now and see how it sounds. I'm only looking to take a little bit off. I mean, they're quite nice drums. They'll need a bit of EQing, but they don't need to be like heavily compressed. So I'm looking to take off maximum 4 dB. So that's no compression. And that's with compression. There's the volume's not quite matched. But what you can hear is like the snares just come forward a little bit and sits nicer, and those hats are just kind of sitting nicer in the mix. No compression. Back to no compression. So you can hear the difference with the clap coming forward in the mix. No compression. With compression. You can see how the clap has come right forward and then making it sit better. So if you've watched previous streams, you've seen me use this APA 560 a lot. I like it on group channels of drums. It works really nice just over a bus channel. And what I want to do is I'm just bringing a little bit of 4K up, which is sort of the attack region on sounds. It's just to make them a little bit snappier in that top end. Just putting a little bit of 2-bus compression on, just a bit of glue. It kind of slow attack, auto release, attack to a ratio like 2 or 4. 4 is working really well. Well, what I'm looking at is that you see when the track is playing, I'm looking at the needle and how the needle is moving with the track. And that's where I'm deciding on the ratio from there, whether it's, you know, it's something the needle moving a little bit faster and kind of reacting quicker, or whether I want like the ratio to be lower and kind of a bit more of a slower movement. ratio 4 is working nice. I'm not looking to take anything more than about 2 dB off the track. Yeah, I do have the 550, yeah. So I'm just going to add like a parallel channel to the kick. So I don't want to EQ on the main signal. I just want to bring a little bit more attack into the top end of the kick as well, a little bit more of a snap. So I'll do it via parallel compression. Just compress it really hard, EQ the bottom end out until you end up with like a snappy top part, and then blend the two signals together. I've been using this supercharger for a little bit for parallel compression, and I've just been using one of the presets actually, parallel slam. It's kind of, you know, wet dry signal and stuff, so it doesn't need to be slammed that much. I'm only bringing it up like slightly underneath it. It just adds a little bit of top end, and it just works really nice. Just makes it a little bit more like, it gives a little bit more sort of click and attack to the kick. I mean, it's something I do in most of the tracks, and it's generally I prefer, you know, when I use the parallel, I'm not trying to add weight to the kick. I'm just trying to add a little bit of attack. Normally I'd be using Metric Halo channel strip with all this sort of EQing and stuff, but it's actually bugged with Studio One and doesn't run at the moment. They're trying to fix it. It's a Studio One issue. No one knows what the issue is, so I'm just going to use the PreSonus Pro EQ, which is a nice EQ actually. So I'm looking at the hats. I just want to cut out some of that. There's a bit of low end in them that needs to be taken out. Maybe tame a little bit at the top. I might actually, because this later on, that drum group, I'm going to run through a Portec EQ as well at the studio. So that will add a bit of character as well. So. I just heard there was a little bit of like sort of harsh little ringing. It was yeah, somewhere. It was basically it's 1.3 4K, but I knew it was between like 1K and 2K, and that's what I was sweeping for, just to pull that down a little bit. Like it's really hard to hear, so you got to listen really careful to stuff, and what because just those little bit of cutting there will just make it sit in the mix a little bit better. I just wanted to get rid of that. I've literally just pulled off. It's like 4 dB. You hardly notice it with the fine Q, but it really makes a difference the way things will sit in the mix. And I've just sort of opened up the top end a little bit more. So this is an amazing plugin, Valley People. I got Chris Allen, who's an amazing mix engineer, who's part of the group, put me onto it years ago. The hardware, I've got a couple of hardware units. But what I'm doing here is I've just sent the drum group to an effects channel, and I'm using Valley People to just heavily compress it, and I'm going to bring that underneath just to add a little bit more grit to the drums. And, you know, instead of trying to put distortion over the drums, whole drum signal, I'm going to distort the Valley People channel and just bring that up underneath. If you hear, it's just a little bit of grit. That's all I want, a little bit more character to it, but I did want to put distortion over the whole channel. I don't know if you can hear it, that end. The bass is a little bit like, it's a little bit, I'd use the word flappy. Just the edges. And like one of the notes is like jumping out a little bit. I mean, it's got sidechain on it already. I have wet and dry for it. Like sidechain's a really personal thing. You know, I'm not a massive fan of like pumping sidechain. I like to use sidechain for what it was designed for, making space. But you know, a lot of people use the sidechain to pump and as an effect. You know, sort of a trend set by Eric Prydz those years ago that's kind of continued. But so I always ask people to send me the wet and dry sidechain. As I said, it's like, has this person used sidechain as an effect, or are they using it to make space? And it's sort of, yeah, it's kind of used to sort of make space, but it's also got a little bit of pump going on there, and that end part of the sustain part of the sub towards the end is kind of lifting up and giving this sort of pump feel. So I'm not going to add any more sidechain. I'm not going to use a dry. You will use this one, but I'll probably just do a little bit of EQ work, a little bit of compression to balance it out, so it's not such a prominent jump and kind of just a little bit smoother. Yeah, Rob, it's like it's a massive thing for me. You know, a sidechain should be used for what it's there for. It's there to make space. You know, the over pumping of a track or anything else. Yeah, I just don't get that. You know, I personally think it sounds awful when you end up in clubs most of the time, and because of the levels that people want to go mastering and everything wants to be pushed so hard, it just exaggerates it and just becomes this, you know, just throbbing mess of stuff, and you just can't hear what's going on the track. All the details lost. You use sidechain for what it's supposed to be for. Space. Your track will thank you for it. It will just sound so much nicer. Yeah, Rob. I mean, Sebastian. Yeah, look. You know, the arguing. It's. I agree. It's like sidechain kick on the bass. Really, I'm just looking at some of your questions. You know, that's what it's there for. It's there to be used space. But I mean, don't be shy about using sidechain on other things as an effect. I mean, you can see what happens. You can try. So you know, have a separate kick triggering the sidechain and try muting kicks on the beat. So on a straight 4/4, instead of having like 4 of the kicks, you know, mute the odd part of the groove, or try you know, sidechaining stuff for the shakers off of the kick off the shakers, you know, and just see you know what it's doing. Mute parts of the triggering instruments and see what it does to your groove. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that you can do with sidechain that just is, that's going to make your track sound amazing, but just doesn't pump. You can actually add grooves to the track and shuffle from sidechain, not just that horrendous pumping up and down, just by, you know, sidechaining stuff off different stuff. You know, it's an experiment. One of the things I like to do is definitely like hi-hats, you know, have a triggering hi-hat and mute, you know, different parts of it and see what happens. Or shakers, you know, have a full kind of shaker groove and mute the odd one and see what happens to the groove and see what little notes jump out. And you can get some amazing patterns. I'm looking to take, you know, 6 dB off, something like that, with the compressor. That's it.
They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. They fooled me. Flash forward, here we are. I keep. They fooled me. Flash forward, here we are.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that layer's for. That's just basically the same layer. I'll come back to that.
I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames. I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames. I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames. I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames. I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames. I keep. They ruined strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They ruined me. Flash forward, lightning strikes in the night. I see their light, and my voice got flames I keep. They words were yes and no. Quietly, I let go. Listen to me. You should say everything. Ooh, say everything.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was concentrating on the vocals there. Did you like? They're really nice vocals. Really, they've been really well recorded. You can hear the de-essing that's on there. Well, you can't hear the de-essing, but you can hear that they've been de-essed. They've tidied up, gated nicely, or whatever. But they were just a little bit. They were like lacking sparkle. So yeah, that's what I was doing. So what I've done is I used Arvox. I love this plugin. I've said this before. You hear me talking about it on streams that I've done in the past. Now, if it's a really easy plugin to use, you know, it's one knob compression. This fade you pull down here. I'm looking for a maximum about 6 dB gain reduction on vocals. I don't know how it works or what it's doing. I'm just pulling them down. The vocals get louder. It just makes things sit nicer. And then I just pull the gain down to balance it again. And I've grouped all the vocals together because they've all been leveled already. Because this is a remix from someone. So the vocals they've all been leveled and everything else from the original mix. So you haven't got to worry about balancing the vocals overall. You know, I've just got to make them sit nice in the mix. So there won't be much automation needed or heavy compression. It's literally like that. So I use this Renaissance Vox all the time. Just a really, really quick plugin to use that makes vocals sit well. I mean, I do use other stuff. I've used other compressors during streams, but this one is the business. I've then stuck on some tape because I wanted to. So I've used Air EQ to. It's the vocal balance preset, and then I tweak it from there because it's just a good bass to start with. I've given it some air in this top end here, brightness and presence, and some density in the body. You can see across. So they're quite extreme amounts of EQ that I've put on there. I mean, this EQ does a lot with very minimal amounts. It's like a half dB or whatever, but it's actually quite dramatic effects. And what it did, I liked what it done, but it added a little bit of like ringing. About 3K. So once I'd done this, I didn't want to take any more off or cut with it. I just kept it simple. I put the virtual tape machine to give it a little bit more warmth and body in the bottom end. And I put it on after the EQ, but and then I swapped it around and it sounded better before the EQ. And then I just put the Pro EQ, cut the bottoms and the tops, and then yeah, that little bit of ringing that came up, just taking like nearly 2 dB off sort of 3.5K. So instead of doing it with the Air EQ, I've just stuck another one on, dipped it out. What I wanted. And I've just stuck on the R-Comp for a limiter at the end of the vocals. It's a preset that comes with waves. It's one of Dave Pacendo's presets. It's really good, actually. I don't really tweak it that much. Just kind of a bit limiting at the end, just makes them sit a little bit better. I never used to do any limiting on the vocals really, but I watched a couple of his videos about 18 months ago, and it just he used this preset on a couple of them, on both of the streams. So I just started using it, and I really liked what was the sound of it. This is the only limiter. This is the only thing that I like to put on the vocals at the end. I don't use any other limiter on it. Never liked them, but this particular setting with the R compressor works really well. As I said, it's just a preset, so just stick that on. Sometimes it needs a little bit of adjustment on the attack and release, but 9 times out of 10 it just works as it is. Oh, I did say I was going to answer some questions. If you've got any questions now, stick them up in the chat. I also, people post up some questions on Facebook, so I'm going to have a look. And we'll answer some of the questions that people have posted up. I'll take a little bit of a quick break in the mixing. I'm here. I'm just I'm reading questions. So Aaron asked me, what are some of the things after ages you were just like, fuck, I wish I knew these years ago. So I wish I'd known about mid-side processing years ago. I wish I'd known how good hardware was. I've probably said this, but I think I had to mute the microphone muted and I wasn't paying attention because the phone was ringing as well. So I'm going to go over it again. I wish someone had told me how hard this was going to be, how difficult it's going to be, how much of a struggle getting there and making a living out of something that you love. I wish someone had told me how many friends you would lose doing this for a living. It's not like any other job, you know, it takes over your life, and you talk about this, you know, 24/7, and you end up just losing touch with people that you probably grew up with or were good friends all the time, and because, you know, it dominates your life. I wish someone had told me the strains and the pressure it would put on family life, you know, relationships, my wife and everything else. I wish someone would have told me that at the beginning. Something I like to tell people is that, you know, people look at this and they look at the magazines and Facebook and they see all these superstar DJs, whatever. For every superstar DJ, there's 100 people doing this for a living that ain't making that kind of money, that are just getting on with it. And, you know, if you look at the percentage of DJs and producers that are very, very successful and you put that up against the rest of the population of the world, it's very, very tiny. And the rest of us, you really do it for love. And you can make a nice living out of it, but yeah, I wish someone had told me that at the beginning after all the work, you know, that it would take such a long time to really appreciate how difficult it is to get there. So I saw a question regarding the sub bass in regards to getting it to both sit nicely in the mix and come through with clarity. What some techniques you use when processing the kick and the bass together? That was a question asked by in the chat. I actually did a stream 2 weeks ago on that very topic, helping bass cut through. But one of the things I would look at is mid-side processing. Definitely look at mid-side EQ on the bass. So let me show you some stuff now quickly. I've been over this before, but I will show you some stuff. So it's a sub bass here, so it's very difficult. But sometimes with the basses, what you can find is you can help the bass cut through the mix by cutting the bass that's in the side part of the signal. So let me put an EQ on there. That I'm looking for. I'm looking for Brainworks. Okay, so here's one trick that I use. I've shown this before. So we have the bass signal there. It's not really going to help too much on the sub because the sub's not going to go up there to high. But if you've got a bass that is pushing through on the top end, one of the things I would do is to EQ on the side section. So we put a low shelf from something from about 74 and pull out a little bit of weight. That helps the bass cut through. So what that does is, as I said, you're not gonna notice it too much in this track because there isn't much signal there at the top end. But you're pulling out the weight at the top. So what that allows is the kind of the higher part of the bass to cut through, and it gets rid of unwanted sub in that stereo section. So it helps the kick kind of come through a little bit as well. So that's one of the tricks that I would use. Another trick would be multi-band compression. So let me show you that. There you go. I've got to keep checking that. I'll keep muting the mic so that you don't hear my little one screaming out, "Hello, Daddy," in the background. So let's have a look at... Someone asked, one thing I'd love to know more about is how experienced producers solve problems in a mix, not the solution necessary, but how do they narrow down on what the real problem is. Okay, the way I work is that obviously I'll load the track up. I've already listened to this track 3 or 4 times this morning. Then I listened through it twice with you guys this morning. I make notes. It's about listening. Mixing records shouldn't be about, if you're an experienced producer, it's all about choosing the right sounds at the beginning. So if you've chosen the wrong sounds, you're never going to fix it in the mix. So if you've chosen good sounds to start with, then the mix is really easy to come together. So I'll start with a pad and I'll just make notes. I mean, I can't show you here. I'll get a webcam set up and I'll show you, but I've got a massive list here and I just cross through it as I work. You know, muddy vocals, piano, can't hear it. You know, these kind of notes, really simple sentences, and I'll just work through that list. There's only so many techniques out there that you can use in a mix, but it's how you hear what's going on in the mix. That's what makes the difference. Seeing Clayton, what you look for when choosing samples, especially for drums. How low in volume to begin with, like bass drum picking at 9 and the bass kick at 14 or whatever. If you ever delve into sound design, maybe some 80s boogie. What are your golden frequencies, like 100K, etc. What vintage simulations do you use? Wow, he's asked a lot of questions. All right. What you look for when choosing samples, especially for drums. I'll get to that first. I'll start to that one. You're looking for stuff with the right character. Like if a kick drum, if you need to use, you know, more than a couple of drums to get the sound that you want, then you're not using the right drums. I mean, you should be able to get the right sounding kick drum in about 2 samples. You know, something with weight, maybe with something with a bit of attack. So if you haven't got that, then yeah, you know, sample. It's like listening to a record player with me, and I will keep repeating this stuff when we stream. It's sample choice, you know. Spend a good day before writing a track and getting on sound design, and before even writing anything, and pick good sounds. You're looking for stuff with the right character, stuff that's got weight, got the punch that's going to kick through. Nowadays, you don't need to process heavily if you're using some of these sample packs, if you're taking kicks, because it's all been done for you. Might be cool to show some specific examples of how you use parallel compression. Yep, I've done that this morning. That was from Telemeter Conrad. Another topic I'd love to see you is reverb. There's so many different ways to reverb insert sense process, and it makes such a huge difference in whether a track really comes together or not. I'm curious where you're mixing. Maybe next weekend. Maybe instead of doing like a mix or something, I'll just do something about reverb, showing you some stuff on reverb. Funky guitars. How do I make my shitty square Strat sound like Nile Rodgers? Seriously though, what are some general settings for guitar rig or virtual sampling techniques you use? Also some for bass. I've already covered bass. I don't really do much of stuff with live guitars. People that I work with don't really, you know, use much sampling with live guitars, so I'm probably not the one to ask. But is it possible to have a soft, warm 808 style kicks with an 808 melody bass line that goes down to 40 hertz in some notes and still have a loud, open, clear mix? Wow. Yeah, you can. I mean, it's just how you mix them together. Really, so I don't know what to answer with that question, because it's until you hear what's going on, I couldn't answer that really unless I hear the melody that's being used, you know, and an 808 kick just isn't one kick. Have you got distortion in it? You know, 808 kicks can have 100 different sounds. No, how do you get sub bass to be powerful and loud in the mix without the speakers being overly extended and flappy? Compression and EQ balance, mate. It really is all to do with that. So, yeah, that's something that I'll work on a lot. Multi-band compression works as a big deal as well. And Sorry about that. Some crazy sound flower business. Just wigged out with the Bit Crusher. I thought the Bit Crusher was going to sound a bit crazy.
You should say everything. Ooh, say everything.
I'm trying to add some distortion, but I haven't got my Soundtoys iLock here, so what I'll do is I'll do it later on. But what I wanted to do is basically that trem synth, send it to a parallel bus again, add the distortion to that one instead of putting it on the whole one, and then just bring it underneath so you can, you know, balance the wet and dry signals, and it'll just give it a little bit more sort of growl on the top end. So I've just added a bit of a Pultec there. I like this T-Rex Pultec. There's a preset on there called Vintage Presence. I knew it actually gives like a 4 dB boost at like 5K or something. So I just load that preset, and I wanted to go like, you know, about 2 dB with a finer bandwidth from about 4. So, you know, load the preset, do the changes that you want to do. It's just like I just know what these, like, you know, where these starting presets are. So it enables I just open them up, get that setting quickly, and then I tweak from there. Yeah, so it's a good base to start with a lot of stuff. But yeah, you know, I found these plugins that I like, and then I just know my starting points, and I can open them up quickly and work really quickly. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in again. Like, basically, that's about 2 hours. We have like each of the streams is like 2 hours what we can upload from YouTube and stuff. So I'll like probably call it a day there. And then I'll just answer these questions here. No, I've noticed that the right channel is always about 1 dB, give or take, left over right. Did you do that on purpose, or did they send it like that? They sent it like that. This track is now, I'm now taking it to the studio, and it's going to be running through the desk. I just loaded it up this morning to do some stuff, to kind of, you know, do a stream with you guys, show some stuff, you know, because basically a lot of the things on there, like vocals or whatever, I can, you know, leave the plugins on, and then so this is all going to be split up on the desk, and then that will be balanced out. Yeah, Rob, it's coming together. Yeah, look, you know, another 3 or 4 hours at the studio on the desk and stuff, and it'll all just come together. I'm just trying to get into the habit of doing these streams now, and people tuning in, and I can start answering some questions and start doing some sort of specific streams. So I'll do a stream again next Saturday, probably, at some point, and I'll look to do a stream on reverbs, and I'll get some sounds together, and you know, and do some reverbs and stuff. So I hope that was useful for you this morning. I hope, you know, I enjoyed just doing these streams and hanging out. I hope you got some stuff out of it. I've gone over some stuff that I've sort of already done in the past, but you get to see how it's done. And yeah, look, you know, just please feel free to send me questions and stuff like that. It's very difficult. I'm not one of these. I'm a working engineer. I'm not like these seamless guys or anything else. Yeah, I work for people. These tracks that I'm mixing or whatever, they're going to be released. I'm not just sitting here, you know, making shit up and doing tunes and just to get views. I'm trying to, you know, I'm showing you how I work and what I do for a living, and hopefully you learn from it. So feel free to send me questions and stuff that you want to learn about. I will try and structure these streams as I go along, and give you some more stuff. But, you know, I'm trying to give you a view on how it all goes, and not just kind of do you loads of bollocks, basically, so a lot of these other streams. So, look, take care, guys. Have a good weekend. What's the rest of it? Please send me some questions and stuff to work on. And next week I'll do some stuff on Reverb. Take care, everybody. Love you all. See you later.